So last week we covered the best brawlers in the game mode Showdown, and in order to cover all bases, what we're going to be doing today is going over the worst brawlers for Showdown. Brawlers you want to avoid playing in this game mode at all costs and pushing a different one. So hope you guys are all pumped up. Let's get straight away into it. Here we go. Now, once again, we have on one of the best Showdown players in the entire world, and that is Money Capital. He's going to be guiding us with the gameplay of today's video, as well as the picks for the worst brawlers in Showdown. As you can see, he's sitting at 7,143 solo victories, which is absolutely insane. So he definitely knows his way around this game mode, which brawlers to push and which brawlers to stay away from for this game mode. So let's get into it. Now, we're going to be sticking to the 7 worst brawlers for Showdown, just because I feel like the last episode 10 was just a little bit too much, but you guys will have to let me know. But starting things off with the 7th worst brawler for Showdown, and that is going to be Jessie. I find inside of Showdown it's really important to have some sort of DPS or a way to get away. So having some sort of mobility with your super so you can escape, or the DPS to back it up, kind of like a 8-bit. And Jessie kind of lacks on both of those departments, though you could argue that her super is a really great way to get pressure off of you, like a Primo's coming in at you, toss down your super so that they have to deal with that, or risk them dying from that super and your basic attack. So she can be good in some ways because of that super, but overall I feel like she has a little bit of a tricky time in the game mode. So we'll see how Money Capital can do with Jessie in this game. He's going to be playing with the worst brawlers, so it should be entertaining. So let's do it. Okay guys, so getting straight away into our match now. I've said this time and time again whenever we're covering a Showdown video or a Showdown topic. I absolutely love spectating these game modes. It is so much freaking fun because we get to see everything that's going on the map. And as you can see, Money Capital is off to a quick, crazy little altercation there right away in the beginning. Money Capital never fails to make things close and entertaining with his gameplay. He got down to 100 HP. He's a very aggressive Showdown player, which is incredibly fun to watch. So we managed to take out the Nita and the Shelly, killing the 2 of the 3 brawlers that have perished in this game already. So we're rocking things. We're definitely being aggressive with a definite tricky brawler to go for. We're getting right into the face of the Shelly. My goodness. Money Capital, he is nuts. I love watching it. It's so much fun. Okay, so we're pinching the Shelly with the help of the Rico. Shelly's going to be going down. We have 4 power cubes. We're sitting really nicely. So let's see what happens with this Rico. The Robo Retreat kicks in. So it looks like he's going to manage to escape. The Leon putting in a good effort trying to kill him as well. So now the Leon and the Rico are squaring up. What else do we have going on the map? We have a Frank, a Colt, a Piper. Okay, I missed it. Money Capital was able to take out the Leon, and we're in a really good spot here, guys. Very good spot. We have 6 power cubes. Now, the only turn that it could take to be a little bit tricky is if that robot got on us, just because we have no DPS to destroy it. We don't have mobility to pass it off either. But as you can see, taking out the Piper, taking out the Colt, bang, bang. And now we only have a Rico standing in our way. Never mind, we have a Frank top left. And it looks like the robot's going to target the Frank here now. So definitely in a good spot to take first place. We'll see if we can capitalize on it. Here we go. Frank does have a lot of HP, and Frank managed to pass off the robot, which is not good. We'll see what happens, guys. He does have more health than us. That large health pool could definitely help him out, but our DPS scales with the power cubes as well, not just the health. We managed to bypass that super and securing a first place victory. That's what I'm talking about. Very, very fun game. Let's get into number 6. So coming in at number 6 may be a surprise to a lot of you all, and it was a surprise to me when Money Capital told me that she was a little bit weaker in the meta as well, and that is Nita, guys. Nita tends to be pretty decent around like the 300 to 400 trophy range, as Money Capital explains, but once you get towards the upper progression of your trophy range, like the 500, 600, 700, you start going up against those tankier units, and when Nita is maxed out, she does 1,120 damage, which isn't a lot to put a dent into those tankier units where they can just pressure up into your face and take you out fairly decent. Now, if you are a good Nita player and you know how to use bear placements inside Showdown, you can definitely make her work, but she is a little bit more of an intricate brawler in this game mode and kind of hard to push towards those upper echelons of trophies. But let's see how Money Capital does with her. It's Nita time, everybody. We'll see if this one is just as entertaining as the last match. we'll have a good look on where we're spawning. Now, Nita does have some good attributes for Showdown, I'm not going to lie. She does have that piercing damage, which is good for getting a good amount of boxes right off the get-go if they're grouped up. But we'll see if Money can capitalize with that mechanic. So we're spawned right next to a Mortis and a Colt and a lot of boxes as well, but there was just a little bit too much commotion in the beginning for us to grab all of them. We missed that one last basic attack, and we use our bear to toss it down to save ourselves from that last Colt basic attack there. Trying to get away from that robot. We're not off to a crazy good start whatsoever. We only have 2 power cubes just because of that crazy pressure in the beginning from the Mortis and the Colt. We had a lot to deal with right off the get-go. So here we go. We're rolling up on a B. We have to be careful for B. B is pretty scary sometimes in Showdown with those supercharged shots. She can really chunk down even the tankiest of units. And Nita does have a fair bit of a health pool on her, which is good against brawlers like that, but still. Okay, so we have a Primo with 7 power cubes. He was able to take down the robot to get that power cube advantage. And now we have 2 people on us, which might be a little bit tricky here. We have a B and a Primo. But we're determined to pressure that Primo where he's in behind that wall. Just because he was in a sticky situation. Pressure him when he's got the poison to the back was a very smart move on Money Capital's part. Looks like the B wants to pressure the Primo. Primo's just trying to do his own thing here. Okay, we're chunking down the Primo. 3 shots was able to get him to around 3/4 health. We're just going to keep up the momentum on the Primo. The only thing, whenever you have to go for the tankier units, you can dish off that good damage, like those 3 shots, and do your thing, but they can just move the opposite way and get their distance from you and just run away, which is kind of aggravating. So we're in 5th place here. We have the robot on us. We have a Primo up top. We have to stand our ground against someone here, and it looks like it's not looking good for us. Okay, great decision on Money Capital's part, but he took 2 punches there in the end. My goodness, that was a very awkward match just because of that robot in the end, but still fairly well for a relatively not really overwhelming brawler in the meta in Showdown. So let's get into the next one. So rounding the corner to our 5th worst brawler in Showdown, and that's going to be going to our good friend Frank, guys. Frank can be good because he is a tankier unit. As you all know, tanky units are doing very, very good in the meta, but the delay with his attack really puts him in a very awkward spot against the other tanks or tank counters, which, of course, when there's tankier metas going on, those counters are going to be coming out, such as Shelly. The hard counters to Frank are really, really hard, so the kickback from the super with Shelly is really devastating, as well as sometimes with your BBs, with the kickback, anything to disrupt his momentum with his basic attack and his regular attack. Now, you can't deny that he is fairly decent at unlocking boxes and getting those quick kills with his super, if you can super chain them back to back. But other than that, I feel like he has a little bit of a tricky time with that timing and the meta that we're in with like the Rosas and the Daryls. He just is killed really, really easily against those brawlers. But guys, we'll see how Money does with Frank. Alright, so we found our match with Frank, and I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoy Frank gameplay in Showdown. It is a lot of fun, so we'll see what Money can do with this big guy. Okay, so heading into it. Also, I forgot to mention during our breakdown is that there's a lot of Shellys in the meta right now because of the tankier meta. When you're a little bit higher up in trophies, if you guys were paying attention to our last episode going over the best brawlers in Showdown, it was literally littered with Shellys. It is devastating for Frank and these Daryls, man. All that Daryl needs to do is just get one super, wait, and roll in on you, and it's gonna be a tough time for you. So here we go. We're off to a good start. We have 5 power cubes. We have the Daryl pressuring us, though. He really has his eyes on Money here because he does have a lot of power cubes, and he can just do this. Oh, it's so frustrating. I feel so bad, but it's the curse of Frank. All you need is just one brawler to harass you and get on top of you. A hard counter like Daryl, they won't leave you alone. So let's head into the next one. So next on our list is number 4, and that's going to be going to Dynamike. Now, I'm sure this is not a huge surprise to a lot of you guys knowing his spot in the meta currently. It's a little bit on the weaker side. He's not that crazy good in a lot of the different game modes in Brawl Stars, and Showdown isn't an exception. He does do a good job at opening up boxes. I feel like that's his biggest attribute because he does have really, really good DPS if you can land his shots consistently, and box don't move. So you can open those up really, really quickly and get to an early power cube advantage. But the inconsistencies with his basic attack, landing his shots. A lot of the time, you're only going to manage to land one of those sticks unless you're really, really adept with Dynamike. If you can land two, then you'll be doing good. But it's hard to dish off that consistent damage when someone's pressuring in on you, and I feel like Dynamike is viewed as one of those brawlers who's just an easy kill for some of the brawlers that are playing in the meta right now. But again, we'll see how Money Capital can do with this guy. Let's do it. Alright, so heading into our match with Dynamike, I'm a few seconds late here, so we'll see what happened in the moments that we missed. So it looks like he picked up a power cube, I'm assuming from a box. He could have killed someone and grabbed it, but we're in a very tricky spot. One thing that kind of stinks about Showdown is when people know you're a weak brawler, an easy kill, they will go for you. People will gang up and try to take you out because it's an easy kill. It's easy power cubes, a better position on the map or in the game. So it's just it's clear as day. It sucks when a Mortis is breathing down your neck and like a Daryl coming in at you. But we're doing really, really well with Dynamike here, able to get out of that high pressure situation from the Leon and Daryl by taking them out. Which is fantastic, and we have 4 power cubes. The match is moving along really, really quickly. A lot of killing going on, and we have Crow pressuring us here. So even 4 to 4 power cubes, we do have some walls to work to our advantage here. What else is going on the map? We have a Colt, just took out the robot, so we have to worry about that spawning into here soon. I'm not sure who has the advantage here. Obviously, Colt does have more power cubes than us. But honestly, my money's on Crow. I feel like he's a better brawler in this game mode. But you can never count out a Colt. He just has to land one good clip. Okay, so we do have the robot on the Crow, and it looks like we're going to be able to pinch him with the help of the robot, landing a very easy shot there. And now the robot is on Colt, but Colt does have a lot of DPS, so he can take it out fairly easily. So we have to capitalize on this pressure while we're still here. It's going to be very hard taking down a 9 power cube Colt, and we were able to do it, taking first place with a weaker brawler in Showdown. Feels good, man. Let's head to the next one. So around the corner to number 3 on our list, and that is going to be going to Max, one of the newest brawlers in Brawl Stars. Now, a lot of you guys are probably thinking that she would be the worst brawler in Showdown, but with the introduction of Run and Gun, the 2nd star power, she's actually pretty decent in the game mode. She can reload a lot faster, which in turn just increases her overall damage per second, which is really, really good in Showdown. Also, mobility is always a good thing in the game mode, but she lacks a little bit with solo game mode. She's really, really good with a team, being that she is a supportive unit, but I guess she can use that speed for herself. But I find, again, with Run and Gun, it's still a little bit tricky to go up against those higher health pool brawlers, the really tankier brawlers in the meta. You do a little bit more DPS, but I feel like Max just overall is lacking in DPS, even with the increased reload speed. So it's going to be pretty tricky to take down those tankier units in the meta, but we'll see what Money has to say about that. Here we go. All right, so heading into our match with Max. Now, I have a really, really important question for you all. I've been seeing this kind of cut down the middle. Some people think Max is a girl. Some people think Max is a guy. I think the larger portion of people think that Max is a girl, and that's what I think. But I've seen a lot of people referring to Max as a he, so I'm not sure about that. What do you guys think? But here we go. Let's see. I'm sure it even says somewhere, like her star power or something like that in game. I just haven't checked or haven't looked into it. But we're pressuring Nita. The Nita doing some good DPS to us, putting us down to about 4th health. But we're doing fairly decent here. We have 2 power cubes, able to pick up 2 kills right off the get-go. 6 brawlers remaining in the game. Things are progressing really, really well here. We have a Bull. We have a Penny. The Penny's looking good in power. Not a Penny, sorry, BB. BB has quite a bit of power cubes, but we can just keep our distance from her and pressure her with our crazy reload speed. So here we go. Anything else? We have a Dynamike on bottom. Looks like he's camping away, which is a smart move for a Dynamike. And we have a Primo, which the Primo is pressuring the Dyna. So we're able to take out the BB, securing 2 more power cubes. But she definitely put a dent into Money Capital there, getting really, really close to dying once again. Money likes to keep it nice and entertaining. So here we go. We're pressuring the Bull just a little bit, but just kind of holding down our spot here. Now, like I've said before, you'll never see Money Capital just camping in a bush, which is really, really fun to watch. Like I said before, there's a lot of Showdown matches where it's not that crazy entertaining, kind of like what this Bull's doing, just kind of minding his own business in a bush, or Dynamike in the beginning there. The bush campers of Showdown, man. You gotta love when a player comes around like Money Capital, kind of disrupting the bush camping with just overly aggressive gameplay. It's a lot of fun. So here we go. We got 7 power cubes. We're up against a Primo in the end. He's going to pick up 3, and it's dead even, 7-7. So may the best brawler win here. I think a lot of this is going to determine if the robot spawn. Yeah, so it's going to spawn to the Primo side. So it's going to lock onto the Primo, I believe. Nope, it's going to lock onto us. So we're in a bad situation here. We have to keep up the pressure on the Primo. We have to keep him damaged. Can't let him heal up. If we let him heal up, I think we're in a bad spot here. Okay, let's see. I think Money's going to have to try to kill. Ooh, he's making a little sneaky play. What's going on here? Ooh, I don't know. I don't know the strategy behind that one. But still, I feel like we were in a tough spot anyway. So it was cool of him to try out something a little unorthodox there. But let's head into number 2. So number 2 on our list is going to be going to Penny. Now, Penny is fairly decent at holding down her lane. For example, if you're on a bigger map in Showdown, you put down your mortar and just hold it down. Make sure people don't come in close. Maybe you'll get some chip shots from your mortar, help you out. But other than that, she has a really, really tricky time. She doesn't have a lot of DPS. You can line it up and get lucky. If people are stacked together or someone's right on top of a box, you can get that crazy burst damage. But that is kind of... You can't rely on something like that for your advantage with Penny. I find that out of the two, like cousins or whatever you want to call them, Jesse and Penny, they both kind of work the same, where they don't do a lot of DPS, but they still have that spawnable to help them out in a very sticky situation. But Penny doesn't have that initial damage that Jesse does, where you can get out of a bad spot if someone's pressuring you. You just basically have a wall with Penny. So I'd recommend pushing Penny in other game modes other than Showdown. So we'll see what Money does with Penny. Here we go. Time for a little Penny action. Let's see what Money does with this brawler. So we're spawning next to 3 boxes and we're up against another Penny. So it was a big mistake on Penny's part, the enemy Penny. I don't think she knew that Money was there, but she wasted all 3 of her shots right after the get-go. So we had a clear opening just to walk in and dish off that damage. So we have 4 power cubes because of that, and now we're sitting good. We have mortar down. We can hold down our stuff here. We have a Daryl. We're capitalizing on the Daryl because he's being pressured by the robot, but now we need to get away. We don't want that robot on us. But thankfully, because of the mortar, he becomes distracted, which is fantastic. It's good for a game mode like that. Any way to kind of get away from the robot or being able to pass it off to someone else is really, really good with this modifier on. Also, forgot to mention, if you guys do have star powers unlocked for Penny, you're going to want to go with the second one. The balls of fire is really, really important for more added chip damage. There's not a lot of times that your mortar is going to be destroyed to get some value off the first star power, so just go with the balls of fire one. So here we go, killing the beast of the map. We got 10 power cubes down and able to get 4 for our own. That's what I'm talking about. Now we're sitting very, very good. That was quite lucky in my opinion. That BB was just really, really low on HP and we just kind of snuck in and took it for ourselves. So here we go, we got 11 power cubes. We got a robot coming in. Is the mortar? Okay, I thought the mortar was literally going to kill the car. He was just taking that. What the heck? Strange. So here we go. We're going to go and try to pressure the Nita. The robot's going to make quick work of Carl there. And it looks like Nita's going to opt to try to take on the robot, which is a daring move. It's going to be really hard for Nita to dish off enough damage to take him out. So here we go. See? We should be able to wrap this up fairly quickly using the burst from the robot. Man, Nita in a bad spot there. Pinched by a mortar, pinched by a robot, and money capital. 3v1 feels bad, man. Let's head into number 1. So our worst brawler in Showdown, I feel like a lot of people should know this, and that is Tick. Guys, never played Tick in Showdown. He was insanely good in Life Leech or Graveyard Shift, whatever you want to call it. But in regular Showdown, he has such a hard time. Number 1, I feel like lobbers are a little bit on the weaker side in Showdown, with Barley a little bit of an exception just because you get that consistent chip damage. But man, when someone is right on top of a Tick, he goes down really, really quick. You can't keep people pressured back. Tick was designed to be like someone who's really good at crowd control and like choke point coverage. And there's not that much of that going on in Showdown. It's just a free-for-all, so he has a really tricky time when people start pressuring him from different angles and things like that. So Tick, very, very bad in Showdown. Don't play him in that game mode. Push him up in something else that he's well suited for. So we'll see what Money Capital does with Tick. I'm excited to see how he plays. All right, heading into our final match of the video today with the worst brawler in Showdown. Money Capital's got his work cut out for him here, spawning in next to a Primo. Oh my gosh, that's so scary. All Primo has to do is just keep continually walking forward at money, and the chip damage that Tick would do would just not be enough. But he's doing a good job with the pressure from Colt here, so we're doing fairly well. We're chipping down that Primo, and we're just trying to capitalize on some pressure that's not being focused on us. So things have dispersed a little bit. For situations just like that. So fitting to end on the final match with a relatively bad game of Showdown. Freaking bush camping Daryl. Can't really do much against that. So yeah, guys, hopefully the information in today's video is very, very helpful for you all. Make sure to stay away from these brawlers in Showdown, or you know what? You don't have to. Have fun in Showdown. Rip around and do your thing. So big thank you to Money Capital for coming on and helping out in today's video. He's always my Showdown helper because he's so dang good at the game mode, and he's very, very fun to watch. So if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to slap a like on it. Really appreciate that. And with that being said, make sure to keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.